Hi, you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today on Monday, April 20th, which is our Monday here, a little bit about leadership and the importance of leadership. And leaders take all sorts of different forms. Leaders can be your coaches, your teachers, captains on your teams. A lot of different people can be leaders, and it's not easy to be a leader. It takes a lot to be a leader, and hopefully, over the next few slides, you'll understand what it truly means to be a leader. The first thing that it's really important to understand about a leader is that they have to do a lot with some people who really don't want to have anything to do with putting any effort into it. Think about America. Think about all the TV that we watch, and think about all the Netflix and the Disney Plus and everything that we watch. We'd much rather do that and save ourselves and preserve ourselves than going out and reading a book or exercising, things that are really going to push us. So a leader right off the bat has to go against everything that most humans really want to do. A leader also has to push people through their boundaries and their comfort zones. A leader has to get someone to truly believe, and it's a sports analogy, but it's kind of the truth that you literally have to get people to run through a brick wall for you without questioning themselves, without questioning your motives. And it's really hard for a coach or a leader of any sort to do this kind of a thing. Um, and as a leader, you really have to be able to embrace the probability that people are going to be in pain, people are going to suffer, people aren't going to understand what they need to do, and they're going to rely on things that they are comfortable with: fear, anger, ego, resentment, distrust. All these different things coaches and leaders have to find a way through. Now, another huge thing about leaders is that they are really all about the growth mindset. A leader is always trying to get someone to be better. They're always trying to get someone to develop. So whether you're talking about a sports coach or you're talking about a teacher, you start with your class or you start with your team at a certain point, and by the end of the season or by the end of the semester, you're trying to get a group of people who might not necessarily believe in themselves to get to a certain point and to develop and grow. So they're always in that growth mindset. We're not stuck. We're always going to get better. And a leader, whether it's a coach or teacher, whoever, they don't praise the talent. They don't praise your intellect. They don't praise your athleticism. They praise your effort, and they reward that. All right. Everything that we can to be task mastery, something we talked about way at the beginning of the semester, right? Where we're looking to always improve. That's what a good leader is going to do. Okay. And then also, it's always about, like we said, it's what is our long term goal? And a good leader is going to find a way to get us to that long term goal through a growth mindset. If we have a fixed mindset where this is what it's going to be and we can't get any better or things like that, we need to find ways to do that. And a great thing about a leader is that they're always going to find ways to get their teams involved, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. They have to realize that not every one of their teammates or their members of their team or their students or the people that work for them all are going to get on the same page or all are going to buy in the same way. So a lot of times you have to look at different articles, quotes, stories, stats, speakers. How do we reinforce good attitudes, and what are our punishments? There's all these different things you have to balance, because no two people on your team or in your class or in your business group are going to be the same. So a leader has to really, really go through all sorts of different avenues and understand that we're always trying to develop to reach our end goal, whatever that may be. Okay. And this is something that maybe you've seen with your teachers or your coaches, that there's a lot of pressure, social pressure, put on coaches and teachers and things like that. All right. Like it says here, there are two sides: are the social pressure and the self-improvement are always at battle for your time, energy, and attention. So think about this. Think about how much time a leader might spend chatting with friends about his team while ignoring the influence or the opportunity for positive leadership. If you're having a bad season or you're having a great season, you may say, "Oh man, my team stinks. We're not going anywhere." Or you may say, "Oh, my team's the best. We don't have to do anything. We're going to win no matter what." But you may be missing out on some opportunities to be a better coach. Okay. Um, Also, this one was a hard one for me too. This idea that simply thinking of what you have to do after practice takes away from your team. As I knew it was probably time for me to get out of coaching when I realized that it was more about, oh God, I have to leave right now, or I won't be able to pick up my kids before their school closes. And I wasn't thinking about the improvement of the team. And that's when I really knew I'm not doing anyone any service or any favors by continuing to coach this team because I wasn't 100% in. I had other priorities that were always blocking my mind. All right, and those distractions were really affecting my end goal. But what you have to realize is that leaders have to block out some of the things from their day-to-day life because they have a goal. All right, they have to understand what's going on. And I love this point here too. Not everyone will understand your path, your goals, etc. All right, you're always going to get criticized, whether you're a coach, a teacher, whatever. Someone is always going to judge you. You have to make serious decisions as a leader, and not everyone is going to go along with those decisions, or not everyone's going to understand what went into that decision making, and you're always going to get criticized. And you have to understand that you need to have thick skin. Think about all the decisions that Mr. Van Slamberg has had to make over the past few weeks with what we're going to do with e-learning. You can't, it's not a popularity contest. He had to do what he thought was best for everyone. He talked to a lot of us, department chairs, teachers. He heard feedback from parents and students um, in surveys, but he had to make a lot of tough decisions. And not everyone loves every decision, but you have to make decisions, and you have to understand that not everyone is going to understand, but you have to have that growth mindset that no matter what, you have to keep going positive, be positive in your thinking, and understand probably made the right decision. All right. So there's three perspectives of leadership that we're going to talk about. One is the Drucker model. And the Drucker model really is all about setting goals and what are our priorities and how can we get to our end goal. All right. And with the Drucker model, we place value on measurable outcomes. We set long-term goals, but then we also set short-term goals. And when we talk about goals, and it's something we would have done in class if we were still in classes, that we would have worked on goal setting. And with goal setting, you have to set manageable, obtainable goals. We have to have them be quantifiable and not qualifiable. We want quantity over quality. All right. To have a fun year is a nice thing that we want to have come about, but that's not a real goal. You need to have measurable goals with outcomes. So you can always say, okay, if my goal is to get 10 rebounds a game, what do I need to get to that level? What do I have to work on in practice? If I'm playing games and I'm not getting anywhere near 10 rebounds a game, am I really even close to that goal? Another perspective on leadership is the Covey model, and this is all about values and ethics. All right, and this is where great leaders are really trusted and respected because they trust and respect other people. So if you have a coach or a teacher or someone who's really value oriented or ethic oriented, and there's a lot of respect, give and take between you, the teammates, the students, you're probably seeing a leader who's more of a Covey model kind of thing, where they really value and respect one another. And the third one is the Bennis model. And the Bennis model is really the person who thrives under pressure, the ability, like it says here, to manage adversity. All right. They're all about being a strong leader and they're more committed and they're always there. They're the stereotypical first one in the gym, last one out, always staying up all hours of the night, watching film, got your team or your class or the people you're in charge of ready for every possible scenario. So you might have a coach who is probably maybe one of these three categories more than the other two. You might actually have some people who might sort of show a little bit of a couple different things. The Drucker and Bennis model, I see a lot of people who would fall into that category, those two different categories. So chances are, if you think about any teacher you've ever had, any coach you've ever had, any boss you've ever had, you can sit there and go, oh, yeah, they were totally this model or they were totally that model. So think about that for a minute. All right. And the last thing we're really going to talk about today is that when we're talking about leadership, there's really four types of leadership that is expected out of all leaders, whether it's a coach, teacher, or a boss. And we're going to I'm going to explain the four different types of leadership, and then I'm going to show you how they would fit onto a pyramid. All right. So the first one is really a spiritual type of leader. And this is where our team values are. All right. So this is where we're really looking at what is the code of conduct for our team, what is the behavior that we want our team to have, and this is the leader who really is going to exhibit what type of team we're going to be. Like how a leader acts is how the rest of the team is going to act. And this is the stage or the time when a leader is really going to say, all right, this is what our team is all about through a team mission. This is what my vision or is for the team. And what are our goals? What are we trying to achieve? The next one is the mental type of leader. And this is when we're trying to, this is the type of leader who's going to be able to get their team to focus and think clearly under pressure. It kind of goes back to that Bennis model of perspectives of leadership, where it's no matter what the situation, we're going to be able to handle the adversity. And this is a type of leader where they're going to put you in situations in practice, outside of practice, that they're always going to push you not only physically, but mentally. You're always going to be mentally prepared. So no matter what happens in a game, you're always going to be ready. These are the type of people that are practices and games and your travel and your team meals and all that stuff is very well managed. Every second of every practice, there's no dead time. They've got you moving from drill to drill. After school, we have to get, you have a coach that puts up a timetable of, all right, you have study tables from this time to that time, then we'll be in the weight room, then we're going to be in film, then we're going to be on the court or the field, and they have everything planned out for you. Um, they are the ones who are going to make sure that you are mentally tough. And they understand that the decisions that they make are going to affect you. So they're very self-aware. They're not making decisions with only themselves in mind. They're making decisions that are going to benefit everyone in the long run. All right. So after we had spiritual and mental, we're going to have the emotional type of leader. All right. This is where our communication comes in. Good leaders, you're going to know where you stand all the time with a good leader. And that leader is going to push you to not only have confidence in yourself and hope in yourself, but they're going to push you to be trustworthy in your teammates. All right. They're also going to not be sort of that ego-centered person. They understand humility, empathy, and compassion, right? If they make a mistake, they're going to own up to it. If someone's hurting on your team, they're going to be compassionate. If someone's suffering, they're going to show that empathy. They're going to relate to people, all right? And they're going to be that type of leader, the emotional side of things, that when the going gets tough, a lot of people on the team want to go to to use the sports analogy, they want to go to war with that person, because when we're facing adversity, that person has shown true love and true hope and confidence in you that you are going to want to go to battle with them. And then the last one is physical. Physical, it's lines up with team values. And this is the person where you can literally see them walk the walk. We have the goals, we have this mission. No matter what situation, where they are, what time of day, this person is always going to walk the talk. They are going to be the ones who live that mission. We always talk about this with Epper Buff. When you see people doing good deeds and good actions, we always talk about being men and women for others. When you see your leaders, your teachers, your student council representatives, team captains who are doing things to help others, that is that integrity. That is that value, that Jesuit core values that we're trying to instill into you guys. So hopefully you see a lot of your teachers doing that. They want to be men and women for others. We have that cura personalis where we're trying to take care of you guys and understand that we are really trying to make you better people. All right. And they're accountable. All right. They're accountable for what they're supposed to do, but then they also hold others accountable. And we look at those goals that we mentioned before and those measurable outcomes. And if you're not meeting those goals, they're going to call you out on it. But they're also going to have goals that they've shared with the team or the class or whatever. And if they're not meeting those goals, they expect to be called on it as well. All right. So if you look at this, all four of these things can kind of fall into this pyramid, and your physical energy, that being able to walk the talk, that's your big foundation for being a leader. A good strong leader is going to exhibit all four of these. Some people may be stronger at other things, but this is really the kind of way that everything being laid out, this is really what you need. All right, you want that physical, that being able to walk the talk. All right, then you're going to have your emotional level, where you people feel confident in you and you feel confident in them and you feel that trust. And then we're going to push you mentally. All right, we're going to prepare you for every situation, and then we're going to really know how to identify as a team and who we are. All right, so I'm going to put this PowerPoint online for you guys. I want you to be able to take a look at this. On Thursday, I'm going to virtually pass out a sheet of paper where you're going to look at some different scenarios, and you're going to need to tell me which type of coach does a team need. I'm going to give you a scenario where it's something's happening or something's going wrong, and you're going to have to tell me, all right, which one of these four things does a team really need at this point? Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to just watch this video, go through it, and I'll have the notes up there for you. And if you have any questions or need me to clarify anything for you, feel free to email me, chat with me, and I can clear things up for you. Okay. Hope you're having a great day, and we will talk to you soon.